Hello, everyone. I hope you're having an awesome day today. First of all, I want to give thanks to the support that is being given for the case of racial discrimination in football. I would say that it's something that still continues to happen in football stadiums. Maybe not as much as before, but I would say that it still happens. Now, about the player from Benfica, I have no idea, or nobody has any proof of can say anything about what the player from Benfica said. I think it is right now it needs to be investigated, and if the player is guilty, it's guilty. Now, I didn't watch the whole game. For me, the game was kind of boring because it's difficult the way the match was going. That I had to keep myself distracted or something, and from time to time something was going on, and then I would look in the screen and be like, oh, something's happening. I want to say that passing the whole situation that happened against Vinicius Jr. from a Benfica player, we have to take a look into the entire game. And I have been watching recently more and more football. I used to watch it when I was younger, but just national teams playing. And I guess football has started to become part of my daily life. I enjoy listening to a lot of people talking about football in Spanish and English. My team, by the way, is Barcelona. Or the team I kind of enjoy watching. I'm not sure if I'm still a fan of Barcelona. I'm not a person who would be like wearing the t-shirt or be putting a big poster of players or something about Barcelona in my room. But I love to watch Barcelona. I don't know if I ever will become like a complete fan that will be buying a t-shirt I think I would love to do is to go to Barcelona and watch Barcelona play live. That's one of the dreams in my life that I have. Now, I would say that I cannot say by myself that I have knowledge or experience decades ago of how Real Madrid was a team that seems to always be favored by the referees. But I've been listening for the last 10 years channels or media that is fan of Barcelona and explain the whole situation of how Real Madrid is always being favored by the referees. And the media is always protecting Real Madrid. And you know what? It's something that if you like fairness, and justice, in a sense that you would like your team to win without having advantage. Maybe I'm like that. But every time I see Barcelona play, or for the last 5 years, I've been watching Barcelona play, because it has become more and more for me like I'm more cautious now, more and more about when Barcelona plays. So I try to watch the game, and every time I watch a Barcelona game, I give the reason, or I completely start to understand what these people, fans of Barcelona, has been talking for so many times. So many videos dedicated on looking at the difference on the treatment of referees to Real Madrid compared to Barcelona. And it's not just Barcelona, but it's just if Real Madrid is losing, or there is no way with their players to be able to win a game, something happens. There is an offside, there's a penalty, there's a red card. It's something that continues happening constantly. Like I'm surprised that it continues happening. And it's kind of growing on me because it starts to be annoying, really annoying to see Real Madrid always being benefit. And the surprising thing is that Barcelona keeps winning titles in Spain. For the last 30 years, Barcelona has dominated at least 50% of the titles, or more than 50%. I'm not sure. More than 50% of the titles won in Spain have been won by Barcelona. And what is amazing about this is that Barcelona wins every one of these games, deserving it, like with deserving every title. Every title that Barcelona has won, Barcelona deserves to win that title. Now, when I look at Real Madrid, and I want to talk about this game because it's an international game, because most of the European teams or any team in the world doesn't seem to play so many times against Real Madrid, while Barcelona is 2, 3, 4 times per season. And in every single game, Barcelona has to be not just good, has to be a football machine to be able to win to Real Madrid. And even in some cases, Real Madrid has won to Barcelona. And it's more and more annoying, but at the same time, surprising. And I don't know if that's why I like and enjoy more to watch Barcelona, because it's more focused on football. I'm trying to make this conversation to be just about Real Madrid and Benfica, but I have to talk about this because most of the YouTube channels, most of the media doesn't point at these things, that even channels, football channels that are based on Barcelona or focus on Barcelona, don't pay attention or don't explain these things to people. And I know that it happens so many times, and so it's so annoying that most of the content, at least half of it, will be complaining about the whole situation on how Real Madrid's benefit. Imagine that, like, that's how annoying it is. Every single game Real Madrid has been doing in the last 10 games, there is always some weird stuff with the referees. Of course, it has been always happening, but it happens the most when Real Madrid is not playing well, is doing really bad. When things are even, like that Real Madrid is going to have a draw with other small team, big team, whatever, suddenly something happens with the referees, becomes stupid. And I know we have to, and the thing is that, yes, we have to see the referees of being like, no, we have to respect the referees. But the freaking referees that are being signed to referee the games tend to make the stupidest choices, or seem like they forget about the rules and start like looking like tactical minor details to justify something, or go into a blind eye, or be like making a mistake to favor Real Madrid. I can talk about this for hours. I guess I'm going to try to be more focused when I'm talking about these situations, and I'm probably going to be talking forever because until people realizes, hey, this is what is happening. And it's not only happening in Spain, it's happening in Europe. In the European level, referees are favoring Real Madrid. It's insane. Whatever you think, oh, because in Spain, whatever, they keep being favored, but then in Champions League, they keep being favored. So let's talk about the Benfica game, like Real Madrid against Benfica. And I'm not going to be talking just about the match, talking about Vinicius Jr. The thing is that, for example, the whole Vinicius Jr. is another thing to talk about later on. But I guess I'm going to talk a little bit about this, about Vinicius Jr. People who try to be neutral or be objective about the situation with Vinicius Jr. This annoys me a lot. I'm half black, half white from Colombia, and I kind of know what is to be discriminated because of the color of your skin, or for just having black features in my face. Now, when I look at someone like Vinicius Jr., his whole drama, I know I'm calling it drama, but this way I explain why. I remember when Lamine Yamal and Balde were playing against Real Madrid. I think it was the first game, I think, that when Barcelona won 4-0 last season. And you can find this on YouTube. There's this video where it was taken by the fan, where Lamine Yamal celebrates, and I think he didn't dance. He just went in front of their faces, with his arms open, I think. And then I think Rafinha just pulled him in because, yeah, it's like maybe Rafinha was afraid that he will get people mad and people start jumping the seats and getting to the field and to beat Lamine Yamal. Now, one of the videos taken by a fan shows how people was discriminating Lamine Yamal in two ways. One of them was that because he's half Moroccan, half Equatorial Guinean, so but he has Moroccan blood. I would say, and these people were calling him slurs because Moroccans seems to be the ones who clean cars in the street lights or selling the things in the streets, right? And they also were calling him monkey. This has been happening apparently in 2 games, but this game specifically has been on camera, where people was calling him monkey and giving him and telling him slurs for being Moroccan. I did not see the media say anything. I'm not sure if Vinicius, to be fair, I'm not sure. I think Vinicius said something. I don't know. I could be wrong that Lamine Yamal was being attacked. Even Balde was being attacked this way. There was no sanction for Real Madrid stadium. Now, I also see a lot of respect for Lamine Yamal in almost every stadium he goes. This makes me proud because Lamine Yamal, the same as Messi. Messi was being called bunch of things, the same as Guardiola when he has been in Santiago Bernabeu Stadium, and his response, Lamine Yamal's response, and Balde's response to all these things that people were talking about, like they didn't care. They were like, okay, whatever, man. These people is rich, man. They're already famous, they're already successful, and build kind of a tough skin for this. I wish I was like that. But, when people is called short, or whatever discrimination can be, can be thrown at people learns to have a tough skin. And the point that I want to make is that people has certain respect, or I would say thankfully so far, Lamine Yamal doesn't go. I haven't seen Lamine Yamal going to small teams and say something against them, and hopefully Lamine Yamal maintains like that, being respecting the other teams. Maybe in some moment, at some time, he's going to be so mad, so angry, like Messi would he kick the ball to the crowd. Who knows? He's human. Now, I want to go on the side of Vinicius Jr. Vinicius Jr. has been compared to Lamine Yamal many, many, many times as, I don't know, that they are the same thing, that they are doing the same thing. And you look at Vinicius Jr., first thing that he started doing is signing with his hands the number 2 to the crowds of small teams, or most of small teams in Spain. Meaning, sending them for second division, right? You should go to the second division. That has been every time. Second, another thing that he does, the whole dancing. There was that thing when there was, I think, I'm not sure how much it is, but Ronaldinho had this aura of dancing, but he was not talking to the crowd. That's the difference. What Vinicius Jr. is constantly going back and forth with the crowd. If I don't recall seeing Neymar or seeing Ronaldinho constantly going on every field and looking to the crowd and going on a back and forth thing. There's a difference, right? I saw Vinicius Jr. hitting other players in the field. A goalkeeper. There was in Spain, oh my God, pushing other players. There was a case where against Celta de Vigo, where a player named, his name escapes from my mind right now, but he was an ex-Barca player, now playing Celta de Vigo. The guy pulls him because, he has to defend his team. And Vinicius Jr. comes back and pushes him. A goalkeeper, he slammed the face of this goalkeeper. And of course, the goalkeeper took advantage of that and fell to the ground and was for the aggression of Vinicius. Against Barca was against Frankie de Jong, where he did a jiu-jitsu lock and took him down or something. But one of the things that I remember the most is that Vinicius did this, which is go to a Mallorca player and said to this player that you in your entire life, you are never gonna earn what I earn in an entire year. That's Vinicius Jr. Or what you earn in your entire career, I'm gonna earn in 1 year. Saying something like you'll see me win the Ballon d'Or. And I don't know how Vinicius Jr. is in real life with people, but when I see in the field, I'm like, that's why people hate him. And this player is going to be hated everywhere, man. With his attitude, recently in an interview with a guy named Ibai, Vinicius Jr. says that he enjoys that, going against the crowd, right? So when he dances in Benfica in front of the crowd, he has already talking to the crowd, if I'm not wrong. And then he dances before them. I could be wrong. I'm not sure if he talked to the crowd at the beginning, but he dances in front of them like in a way of humiliation. Now, let's pass that. Okay, let's say let's say it was not a problem about Vinicius going to every field, every soccer field, every stadium, being hated. Everybody, like, he's getting, even Real Madrid fans notice that the guy is annoying or doing continuously this against the crowd, because makes Real Madrid look really bad. Anyway, so in the game, I'm not sure, but they keep saying that there was the Vinicius Juniors should have gotten a yellow card. I didn't see that. I don't remember well. But he was not supposed to be playing because the referees kind of forgave him. Another thing that happened was that this is unbelievable. This is insane. It is annoying. Why is this happening in football? Why the fuck is this happening in football? Why is Valverde? Look at this situation on the media. And for the last thing I'm gonna talk about later, I wanna save this talking about the whole scandal that everybody's making about Vinicius being discriminated in the field by another player. But I want to see there was a in a transmission. This is what happened in Spanish. Apparently there was a foul by Vinicius, and even the commentators were talking about that Vinicius Jr. should be given a yellow card in the field playing against Benfica. Everybody saw this. And then, by mistake, there was a repetition of Valverde. He was battling on a run, another player, and the guy gives a soccer punch to this Benfica player. And when I saw that, I was like, are they really not showing everything? I think they did it by mistake. They showed this thing with Valverde. Because there was only one repetition. There was no other angles. There was only one angle. And it was not even mentioned. It's not even mentioned by, I don't know if media is mentioning this. They might put it like aside. If it was like, man, if it was a Barca player doing this, for me, it'll be a disgrace. I'll be so disappointed. But the media will start talking about for an entire week. Maybe not, but they might be talking a little more about it. But for some reason, the VAR did not see the whole aggression of Valverde against the Benfica player. Like, if people in the stadium is angry, is chanting or whatever, probably it's because of that reason. Because people is seeing like the fouls that Real Madrid is allowed to do, while other players, the other teams, if they do the same, foul by foul, let's say, you compare, the referees tend to give a yellow card faster with no calling or thinking about it, nothing, right away, because let the same as Araujo. Look at how Barcelona, the referees in Champions League, is so easy, freaking easy for them to be giving a yellow card or a red card to Barcelona compared to Real Madrid. And we are talking about, like, did you see a sucker fucking punch? No, they did not see that. And it's annoying, man, annoying. Next, what I got to talk about is, this is what I wanted to talk about for last, but even there is something I still want to talk about, but one of the last points on the Benfica game, or 2 points, or 2 things I want to talk about the Benfica game. One of them is about Mourinho, who is ex-coach of Real Madrid. This time I'm saying these things because he's not a coach in Real Madrid. I guess the guy, he doesn't care. He doesn't care anymore. He got the money, whatever. The guy says, and he put it in a way that sums the whole thing. It's like the referee has in his notebook that whatever reason he cannot give a card or a yellow card or anything to 3 players in Real Madrid. That sums everything. I'm not saying that Benfica, the game was very even, but how incredible it is that I think Benfica is better than this Real Madrid, was playing better than Real Madrid. You know why? Because they had to be more, Real Madrid players start to be aggressive, had to start being aggressive, knowing that the referee will allow them to do things. It's the only way that this game end up 1-0. And you know what? The most of the aggressions came from Real Madrid, and the ones who get that red card is Mourinho. Now, what is annoying for me is that Vinicius Jr. apparently is the representative of racial, he's this standard about, being against racism. The guy had this comment to say that Spain, that the World Cup should not be be given to Spain because Spain is racist. And the media, quiet. When I think it was Balde or Lamin, one time it was Balde. He mentioned this thing that happened in the stadium of calling I don't know which Real Madrid this time that Barcelona play against Real Madrid, or it was another team, I don't remember. But I remember Balde saying these things, mentioning about like racial slurs and all this against him in the game. The president of La Liga said that nobody heard anything, that it was too loud. Now, and this is the last thing about I'm gonna say. I want to finish with this, and it's another thing that annoys me a lot is that these channels that talk about Barcelona, I'm not gonna say names, but I'm gonna talk about channels that are like supposed to be for fans of Barcelona. Real Madrid is Real Madrid. But I see these channels that instead of helping the team, instead of seeing these things, these robberies that happen continuously, seems like Barcelona cannot complain about anything. They just have to play and accept whatever happens. Again, it's a miracle that Barcelona, the only thing that Barcelona does is because this is the only thing they can do is focus on football. And that's what it's amazing for me. But I see these channels, these Barcelona channels, talking about Barcelona, like they are waiting for the team to lose to be outraged because that gives them clicks. It happened in Spanish. Now, thankfully, people is more aware about these channels because other channels start talking about, hey, you're not helping the team. You are like waiting for the team to lose or whatever to start like throwing all this. And I understand, okay, they want to make money. They want to get more clicks. But the reason or what I say is because they don't make an analysis, even though they didn't have enough knowledge about football to analyze. And I understand because I'm the same. I just collect bunch of information I learn. But what annoys me is the way they go about the team. And instead of like talking about players, these players suck, this player, blah, 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 without seeing the whole picture. If the guys in the front don't score, they miss so many chances too. They should be judged too. But the defense line, when Xavi was being in the team, people was complaining because Barcelona was winning for only 1 goal. Now Barcelona wins for 3 goals almost every game. People now complain, the highlight annoys me. It's annoying, freaking annoying. It's like, look all the time looking who to blame. It's not only one players to blame. If the guy does it right or wrong, whatever, the coach is gonna be deciding. And if the player is there for one reason, because if the coach is thinking that player is essential for the game, the coach will deal with that. If there's some mistake that keeps happening, Hansi Flick will deal with that. But people is like always like, Araujo, blah blah blah. The thing is that like people start talking about Araujo instead of defending the fucking team. People start saying and seeing like the whole thing with the fucking referees, because the same reason why Araujo got his red card, it happened in other 2 games. And I think it was against Barcola, another match. The referee decided not to give a red card to that player. And there was another game, I think against Chelsea. I think it was more like Araujo's fault because he had a bad timing. But that happens. That Cubarsí and Íñigo Martínez is the reason why the first goal against Inter happened. I don't know if it was the first or second game, but Íñigo Martínez, that is so praised, is the reason why they scored the first goal. It was a mistake of him. He made a mistake. He slipped and fell. Now, did everyone blame Íñigo Martínez? No. And they should not also blame a player like Íñigo Martínez when he was in the team. The same has to be with all these players. If these players doesn't work or whatever. Now, for people to start blaming all the players but based on this whole freaking situation that is going on, because the team is not financially okay, we are not able to sign good signings yet. Why are you complaining about that? That's the best we can get right now. Yes, if he's the player, everything, but it's not only once. It's like every single time, every video, everything is always about talking about the players. Barcelona can win 3-1, 4-0, whatever. There is always this complaint about, this play, blah, 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 blah. It's annoying. Not helping to the team at all. Now, I'm gonna say this because I keep hearing this of people who has been more experienced about football in Barcelona and Real Madrid. Real Madrid playing a horrendous football is the biggest candidate to win the Champions League because of the referees. Referees are going to allow this nasty team, disgusting team, and when playing football to win this Champions League. And the media is going to help. Doesn't matter if they play against PSG, doesn't matter if they play against Manchester City. This Real Madrid can win this Champions League. And the media is going to be quiet with all the bad refereeing is going to happen. Maybe not this Champions League, probably the next one, if not the next one. Because if Real Madrid doesn't win La Liga this year with all the penalties they are getting. Oh, that's another story. Anyway, I'm going to leave it right now here. I think I talked enough. And I'm probably going to be talking more about this kind of videos. I'm going to keep making this kind of videos. And hopefully I become better when expressing myself. Have a good day and take care. Bye.